Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. On January 14th, 1957, I Love Lucy aired the episode Lucy and Superman. As an early example of crossover stunt casting, Superman was played by the iconic classic TV version George Reeves. This episode has Lucy literally talking herself out on a ledge. She promises little Ricky that Superman, since he's in town, will come to his birthday party. But when the Man of Steel is unable to make it, Lucy decides to assume his role and the comedy ensues. Well, Superman hears it's for a little boy's birthday party and changes his plans. Arriving for little Ricky's birthday party, he's also just in time to save Lucy, who's locked out on the ledge. And this is when Superman delivers his classic comic line,
"And they call me Superman!"
Of course, he's referring to what Ricky must endure being married to Lucy. After the initial airing, George Reeves wasn't included in the credits, and this was reportedly done just to protect children from becoming disillusioned by the fact that Superman was just being played by an actor. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. As some of you may know, this past weekend I attended the 2019 Hollywood show at the Westin LAX airport. Besides a wonderful opportunity to visit with my pal Kathy Garver, I was so honored to have the chance to meet the kids from the original Lost in Space, Bill Mumy, Angela Cartwright, and Marta Kristen. Of course, not without a picture and an autograph. And then I got to say hello to the ever so beautiful and legendary Shirley Jones. As a true fan, seeing the likes of Angie Dickinson, Richard Thomas, and so many others was a thrill. But just as exciting to me was that a large portion of the original cast of Happy Days were there too. This special event gave me a chance to have a quick chat and photo with Marianne Ross and Anson Williams. And let me just say, they were kind, down-to-earth, and genuinely warm people. I even got my autographed copy of Marianne's new autobiography entitled My Days, Happy and Otherwise. So all in all, it was a wonderful experience, and even though this was my first of these great shows, it certainly won't be my last. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. When people ask what made me such a fan, I point to one episode of Star Trek called Shore Leave. This one had action, romance, fairy tales, a crazy Irishman, a wild tiger, and much, much more. Unbeknownst to a weary Enterprise crew, whatever would cross your mind on this planet would then cross your path. It could all be very pleasant or deadly. As McCoy thinks to himself this place is like something out of Alice in Wonderland, his wild ride begins. Bones, by the way this is the first episode we hear his nickname, then sees a giant white rabbit who claims he's late. The Star Trek extra and pro skater Billy Blackburn obtained an Ice Capades costume to play the rabbit. Wardrobe decided the head would stay on better if it was sewn to the suit. And right before the take, they stuck a bow tie over his air hole. Blackburn nearly suffocated and thus discovered he had claustrophobia. Billy later claimed the only thing harder than wearing the rabbit head was the heavy rubber Gorn head. Well, drama aside, it was that very episode that began my lifelong passion for classic television. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. We at the Golden Age of TV and Retro TV Trivia would like to wish all of you a happy and safe 4th of July. In honor of our nation's Independence Day, please enjoy my arrangement of the national anthem, which I had the distinct pleasure to perform a couple years back on the opening day for the Santa Cruz Warriors at the Kaiser Permanente Arena.
Please welcome the court from the Golden Age of Television, Pat McCormick.
Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet ran from 1952 to 66. This made it one of the longest-running live-action TV comedies ever. Back in the 1930s, Harriet met Ozzie by becoming a singer in his band. Coined as the Ozzie Nelson Orchestra, they scored a #1 hit in 1935, yet they hardly ever mentioned their musical past on the show. Upon realizing that their son Eric, known as Ricky, also has some musical talent, Ozzie reluctantly decides to let him sing on the show. That decision created a rock and roll star and a mega teen idol. Over the next 7 years, Ricky Nelson had 30 top 40 hits. His songs Poor Little Fool went to #1 in 1958,
Poor little fool.
and Travelin' Man in 61.
I'm a traveling man.
Now, fast forward to 1990, when Rick's twin sons, Gunnar and Matthew, score a #1 hit with their song Love and Affection. And their band was appropriately named Nelson. Well, that's what I call a classic TV chart-topping legacy. Greetings, fellow classic TV fans. The Flintstones parodied a fair share of classic TV and movie stars. They would spoof celebrities like Cary Grant and Rock Hudson, but with their names bedrockized as Gary Granite and Rock Quarry. The real-life Anne Margaret voiced her character Anne Margrock, as did Tony Curtis as, you guessed it, Stony Curtis. Classic TV was represented with the real-life voices of Liz Montgomery and Dick York from Bewitched, and their new neighbors the Gruesomes loosely resembled the Addams Family. But the Flintstones also dabbled in the world of popular music. For example, there was the Wayouts, who clearly spoofed the Beatles, and also the Beau Brummel Stones, who in this case not only looked like the Beau Brummels, but actually performed their hit song, Laugh Laugh. But then there was the unbedrockized name of legendary songwriter Hoagy Carmichael, and he was on the show to perform the Yabba Dabba 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 Doo song. So with this musical element interjected into the Flintstones, it could possibly be what introduced myself and many others to the world of rock and roll.